What's up, Chain Gang? This is CHANEY Live coming at y'all with another vlog again. This particular vlog, y'all, this is dealing with a lot of the issues that took place with Texas and this winter storm. Y'all probably like, oh, he just jumping on the bandwagon. No, I'm in Texas, okay? So I'm telling you from experience. My people in Texas, right? I'm from up north, so I am very familiar with weather situations, storms, hurricanes. There are a few things that y'all have here that I don't have up north, okay? For one, black ice. Black ass ice, y'all. Now, what the heck is that? Black ice. We don't have black ice up north. It's gonna snow and then it's gonna melt and that's it. This black ice crap is for the birds, ladies and gentlemen. It's for the birds. I've learned to deal with it over the years, but black ice sucks, y'all. You can't even tell that it's ice. You just getting on stuff and it look normal and it look like the street, but it is ice, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Texas got some stuff. All right, whether they know it or not, they wasn't prepared for this, but they should have been, because they got some stuff. All right, this is my message to Texas. I want y'all to be successful next time y'all get a snowstorm. All right, now another thing. Where I come from, up north, I'm from the DMV area, right? Now, with that being said, when we know that snow is coming, we send trucks out at probably around midnight when the roads are clear, and we start putting the sand, whatever y'all use. We use salt up north, y'all use sand in Texas, right? But we start putting that stuff on the road even before the snow show up, okay? What that is going to do, if it's sand, it's not going to stop the snow on the road, but when the snow melts, it's going to make the biggest difference that you can imagine. Now, we all know salt tears up your tires, your rims, it messes up your paint job and different things of that nature, but who cares? Okay, life is more important than paint jobs, rims, and tires. So it is important that before that stuff hit the ground that you have done work, okay? It ain't no fancy word for it, all right? I tried, but it ain't one. But you need to do the necessary things to prepare for the situation. Another thing, there was a huge accident in Fort Worth, right? Hold on 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all. Thanks for your patience. Check this out. Scam Likely, do not call me. If y'all know Scam Likely, tell them don't call me no more, okay? I don't scam Likely. I don't like scammers, and I don't want nothing to do with it. So to make a long story short, I forgot where I was last, but okay. It was probably important too, but let me just continue and we'll see if we revisit it. All right. Do not. Okay. Y'all need to prepare for the cold weather. All right. Texas has sleet. Like, we have sleet in up north in the DMV, but it's like sleet that's like this big. You know what I mean? But here in Texas, they got sleet that's like this big, y'all. Can you believe that? Sleet this big? And I mean, unless you driving a tank, you gonna have some damages. And I just pray by the grace of God that I don't have no damages. Let me tell y'all something. You need to have your fancy vehicle for looking cute, and you need to have your tank, your hood vehicle, your old school. Old schools don't deal with a lot of hail damage and things of that nature. I don't know what they making these new cars out of. I don't know what kind of clay they are making these new cars out of, but they cannot withhold anything. You need an old school hoop ride. It don't have to be no old school. You got your old school classics that you can throw in the garage, pull out on a nice sunny summer day. All right, but what you actually need is you need an old school rugged joint, a blazer, something old school, dirty, and just rugged that you can pull out under certain weather conditions. Okay? Now, let's talk about this accident. That's what I was talking about. There was an accident in Fort Worth. 6 people lost their lives, man. It was the worst car pileup I ever seen in my life, right? And I'm gonna tell you what the problem was, and this is from my experience of living up north, right? And dealing with cold weather all the time. When the weather is cold, y'all, bridges freeze over. Some people be like, well, I wasn't going across a bridge. That is true. But the ramps, okay, let's talk about ramps. Anything off of the ground is going to freeze. So when you driving on a highway, right, and your vehicle starts to go up off of the ground, that is your cue to start driving 2 freaking miles per hour. Now, I may be exaggerating. Let's take about 10, maybe even 20. The people in Texas were not aware of this. They came, and this was in Fort Worth, they came off of the ramp at top speed, at normal speed, and they could not stop. They had no idea that the ramp was frozen. They had no idea that it was black ice that they were riding on. The reason of that is because the ground that is on ground surface, keep in mind, there's heat coming from the inside of the earth. Okay, and the heat that's coming from the inside of the earth helps melt the black ice, the snow, the ice, everything on the street. But once you go up on a ramp or once you go on a bridge, that heat element of the earth is no longer there. So it creates ice, y'all. Okay, so if you look at the accident carefully, you will see that it was a result of these people coming down off of a ramp back onto ground level, and they could not stop. They could not stop. And it's the most devastating thing to see and experience and feel. It was a nightmare. And I just want y'all to be prepared for that for future reference. Anything that is not touching the ground requires your immediate attention, y'all. And it requires you to be as cautious as you possibly can. Hands down. Another thing, sliding. I was watching the news and a gentleman said, hey, if your vehicle starts to slide, turn in the opposite direction of the slide. If your vehicle starts sliding left, turn to the right. Do not do that. They don't know what they're talking about. There were some more people from here that have not experienced anything. For future reference, if you start to slide, this has nothing to do with just snow. It could be the ground is wet, oil spill, anything. If you start to slide and your vehicle starts to slide, let's say it starts to slide to the left, you need to turn your wheel slightly to the left and it will grab grip. Okay, I am telling you this for somebody that has to drive in the snow for no reason. Like up in Texas, when you get a little flurry of snow, y'all close down. In the DMV, when we get snow, we gotta be to work. So I'm telling you from experience of somebody who have drove through some of the worst weather out there. If your vehicle starts to bear to the left, you turn your wheel to the left and you'll notice it'll shake like this and then it'll grip. Okay, if your vehicle starts to slide, like you notice you're going to the right, turn to the right and it'll do like this. Okay, and you will be back on track. All right, that's the first thing. If you're not driving slow, you putting yourself in danger, hands down. Should nobody, when it's cold and freezing, when they say it's going to freeze, should nobody be going 60, 70 miles an hour? There's no coming back from that. You asking to be in heaven tomorrow doing that crap. So do not do that. Drive slow. I don't care how many people get pissed off behind you. If their lack of experience caused them to think they can go faster, point blank, hands down, do what you need to do. Another thing, the careless, non-turn signal drivers, this is not the time to be doing your bullshit on the road. When the weather is bad, when it's snow, ice, sleet, whatever, freezing temperatures, just go by freezing temperatures, because you don't know those it may not be raining, snowing, or anything, and because of the freezing temperatures, a pipe could bust and ice could be on the ground, and it has nothing to do with snow, rain, sleet, or nothing. So when there are freezing temperatures, you are to take your time. And these careless drivers that don't use their turn signal, that pull out in front of you, that cut you off, okay, this is the time to be mindful of everything you do, okay? If I wanted to kill you for cutting me off or pulling out in front of me real fast without a turn signal when there was no bad weather, imagine what I will do to you if the weather is bad and now you're risking my life double what you were doing when the weather was good. Be courteous, be considerate, take your time. You cannot rush during critical weather conditions, man. Another thing, y'all, when you need to stop, you need to pump your brakes. Do not slam on your brakes. You are going to slide. Pump your brakes as much as you possibly can. Pump your brakes. Maintain ample enough distance between you and the vehicle in front of you at all times. There should be, when the weather is bad, there are no vehicles in front of me. Everybody is all the way up the road. I got enough space to slide, spin around, do donuts if I want to. I can even have fun if I want to. All right? Be respectful, man. Keep your space, keep your distance. Pump your brakes. Do not slam on brakes. Do not push your brake. Pump your brakes. Okay? It's very important. All right? Next thing. People with these trucks that got winter tires, they sitting up high, they rocking and rolling. Yes, you have an advantage over the average car driver or SUV driver on the road. Be respectful. Just because you got this big truck, do not be disrespectful. Do not be swerving around and making people uncomfortable, because you're going to cause an accident that you ain't even have to cause. Be humble in your winterized vehicle. Be humble with your winter tired vehicle. Do not be whipping around and disrespecting the road just because you have the equipment to deal with the conditions. Okay? Do not swerve around and make other people, don't cause accidents for other people just because you got the necessary equipment to deal with the weather condition. And this is the last thing, y'all. This is the last thing. A lot of people lost water. A lot of people lost power. A lot of people's pipes busted. A lot of people went through so many negative things, y'all. And this is my message to them people. So many people went in their cars for heat and died of carbon monoxide. Okay? I'm telling you this from somebody from the struggle. It didn't even have to be bad weather. If you lose heat and you lose power and you don't have water, and you got Uncle Elroy over here on the side on an oxygen tank, and he can't survive on his oxygen without electricity, go to the hospital. If you and your kids are freezing because you do not have the adequate electric heat and the necessities, go to the hospital. Drive in this bad weather and get yourself to a hospital, and guess what? Sit in the lobby as long as it takes for y'all to be safe. Drink that nasty coffee that they give the people that are homeless, that be straggling in for warmth. Drink the nasty coffee. Stay in the hospital. If anybody have a problem, what are you doing here? I am here because I do not have water, heat, and the necessary essentials to survive. Go to your local hospital. Do not sit in your car and get carbon dioxide poison. Do not carbon monoxide poison. Y'all know what I mean. Do not sit in your car. Do not let Uncle Leroy struggle, okay? Do not let your infant baby freeze to death. Do not let any of your kids freeze to death. Go to the hospital, okay? Homeless people do it all the time. I've done it, okay? Go to the hospital. Sit in the lobby. Whip out your laptop. Keep an eye on the news. If anybody wants you to leave that bad, shame, the devil is on their side. If anybody makes you feel uncomfortable, no matter what your situation is, the devil is on their side. I've worked in a hospital, okay? If I would have known of anybody being in there because of these conditions, they are more than welcome. If it was a situation where I could feed them and could afford to do it, I would. Okay? Go to your local hospital for emergency situations, y'all. For shelter, for heat, for water. They got so many water bottles in the hospital, it could give a water bottle to everyone in your city, town, state, or whatever. All your resources will be met. That is what you do. This is for future reference, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know what the weather it has in store for us. And we can't necessarily say that our government or our state legislator or governor is taking into considerations these situations. So with all that being said, y'all, this is CHANEY Live. I love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next vlog.